Welcome to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. You know what? It's a big day. It's always a big day when we get our friends from the big city. Can't say thank you enough to our good friend Gabe Zoda from the Play BK, the Playbook, joining us. So we got a lot to talk about. Namely, as you saw in that super fancy video that I did make myself. I'm very proud of it. I showed it to my mom. She was proud too. Namely, we're talking WNBA, right? But before we go there, your Giants have the dynamic duo of Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. That's the offensive production that I thought would match what I thought was a very talented defense to begin with. I thought that coming into the season, I really liked their defense. I did not expect Dart to come on this strong. I didn't think Scatterboo would be this effective. If they get Malik Neighbors and a good number two option, this is a dangerous Giant team for the next 4 or 5 years, Gabe. I think they're good enough that they're going to break the curse and win the NFC East 2 years in a row, starting next year.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly possible, right? Like what an experience it's been for the long struggling Giants fan over the past 10 years, worst team in the NFL, but now you finally find yourself a duo, the quarterback and running back that could hopefully be the future for this team. I mean, Jackson Dart, it's just the way that he plays the game, right? He's not like an incredible arm talent. He's not an incredible, leg talent, rushing talent, but he mixes the two very well. And he plays in a way that just fits what New York is. It fits the way that New York wants to play. And it just fits that hole that New York fans have been lacking for the past near decade at this point. So that is great. Yeah, obviously Cam Scatterboo is so much fun. I was a little higher on him than I guess you were. Okay. When he was drafted, I thought he was going to be drafted in the 3rd round, ends up getting drafted in the 4th round. And I thought that Cam Scatterboo was just an incredible player. I didn't think he was going to be like the best running back in the league, or I didn't think about any of that, but I thought, hey, he's a guy that's going to run downfield. He's going to hit holes, and he's going to be tough to tackle. What did Alshon Genty say? I draft the guy that they can't tackle. Well, they can't tackle Cam Scatterboo, and he's so much fun to watch. So I love that duo. Obviously, I think at the end of the year they'll be like the most fun 4 or 5 team win team ever. But next year, I mean, you're right though. I mean, you get Malik Neighbors, you maybe make a blockbuster trade, maybe get a second guy there for Dart. The offensive line's looking much better, and you have a situation now where you have an offense. If you can get another DB in that room, a couple DBs, and then you're feeling good about this team to maybe make a playoff spot or compete in the playoffs. So it's definitely looking up for the Giants. It's going to take a little bit more patience to get there, but hey, I mean, it's looking good right now.
They've got a lot going for them. So quickly, let's jump to baseball. So we'll start with our favorite angry Puerto Ricans team, the New York Mets. Anything that you see that they need to do this offseason to compete in the NL East?
Yeah, change your name from the Mets to anything else. I think they're just cursed, dude. Like the fact that they continue to have talented teams just end up collapsing the way they do. It's sickening, and I don't envy any Mets fan, but it's fun to laugh at them. Obviously, I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, they got a casino now. They're building across the street from Citi Field, so maybe they could bet on the team losing and then go watch the team lose in the same day. But at the end of the day, when we talk about the Mets, it's always fun to make fun of them, but at the same time, like, they are a talented team. And, in the offseason, they are going to need to invest in starting pitching. Like they were trusting on Tong and Sproat and McLean, who guys that like are going to be good. Like they showed flashes of being good. Everyone, Sproat and McLean especially, not much Tong. He still needed another year, but the fact that they have that is great. But they need a couple guys that are going to deliver, especially if you want to make it to the playoffs, especially if you want to get to the World Series or win one. You need pitchers at the top that are going to dominate, that are going to get you to the sixth or seventh inning, and be good. And right now, the Mets don't have that, but they have the offense. They had one of the best offensive seasons that they've ever had in Mets history. Juan Soto had probably the best offensive season in Mets history, but they can't even make the playoffs because their pitching is that bad. So obviously, that's where they need to be.
Yeah. Talk about the other side, the Bronx Bombers. Making it deep into the playoffs again, but do we feel like that was a letdown?
It was weird, a weird way to see it because throughout the regular season, I was on the show. I was like, yeah, I mean, the Yankees are the best, on paper, that they are the most talented team in the American League. They are the best team in the American League. But at the end of the season, once again, their strikeout problems become more prevalent. And what hurts when I talk about this Yankees team and the way people construe them, because I know if Ant was on this team on the call, he would tell me, and because last time I was on the show, he was like, "Oh, you worried about the offense?" And I was like, "They have the best offense in baseball. I'm not worried about the offense." And they go out there in the playoffs, and their offense wasn't that great. So if Ant was on the show right now, he'd be yelling at me, be like, "Yo, what I told you about the offense." So let me say this. Right now, the Yankees still have the third best on base percentage and third best OPS of all playoff teams. So once again, to me, it's never been about like the home run or bust, because you watching all these playoff games, everyone's hitting home runs. If you don't hit home runs, you don't win in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's it.
But the problem is they're striking out too much. So I think the problem with the Yankees is their strikeout problem. Their offense isn't a problem, but their strikeout problem is one that costed them. So in that sense, a little bit of a letdown. But in the beginning of the season, Blanca, when Garrett Cole got hurt, the first reaction of everyone's mouth was, this team isn't a World Series team anymore. So for them not to go out and not win a World Series, it is disappointing in the sense that it's another year the Yankees don't win, and it's another year that you waste of Aaron Judge's prime. It's another year that you're dealing with all these problems. But was this team really supposed to win a World Series at the beginning of the year? I don't think so. And throughout times of the year, they didn't play like a World Series team. So I can't sit here and say that I'm not surprised they didn't win a World Series. I'm always going to be disappointed when they don't win a World Series, but that's kind of where I am with the Yankees.
Yeah. So, we better hurry up and move past these New York teams because Ant did just message me and said he's going to try to jump on, and I know he's looking to duel you. So, but man, I first of all, let me just say, for those who maybe just joining us, man, we've got Gabe Zoda at the Play BK of the Playbook, man. Definitely love the content. Please go check him out everywhere, from Instagram to Twitter. Are you on Facebook? You're probably too young for Facebook.
Nah, I'm not on Facebook, bruh. I think I have a Facebook. It's just not being used.
Man, nobody's going there, man. I'm 40 and I'm the youngest of my friend group. My best friend is 75. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's not completely true. I hang out with a lot of older folks at my church. So, but yeah, that's why we keep the Facebook around.
Yeah, of course.
But man, it's always a blast to have you on. But we're here with a specific purpose. It is for us to officially crown the Las Vegas Aces as the greatest dynasty in WNBA history, and I kid about that, but is A'ja Wilson the GOAT? Can we start there? Is she the greatest woman basketball player of all time?
Yeah, I mean, she's certainly the most dominant basketball player of all time. She's the only reason why they won, right? Like, I remember I was talking after a Liberty game, and we were walking towards the post-game press conference. This was like towards the end of the year, if not like in the playoffs, like in the early part of the playoffs. And we're walking to the post-game press conference, and I'm passing by, and one of the reporters is talking to an assistant coach. It was Olaf Lang, and Olaf Lang's wife was Sandy Brondello. So, and Sandy's obviously the coach, not anymore, but we'll get into
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But Olaf was saying to this reporter, he was saying, I mean, the Aces are a completely different team. What Asia's doing is dominating right now, and she's the reason why they might probably are going to win the WNBA championship. And there's no lies there, right? Like what she was doing was just incredible, willing this team. And early season, we were talking about how bad it was to be an Aces fan right now because look at their future. They weren't looking good. Everyone was moving left and right. You have no draft picks for the next couple of seasons if you're the Aces. So you're like, where the hell do you go from here? Is Becky Hammond going to go? Do you have to trade Asia Wilson to get picks? What do you have to do here? And now they're WNBA champions for the third time in 4 years. And now we're back to saying, okay, the Aces are back to being the Aces, right? They're back to being that top of the line WNBA franchise again. So I mean, it's miraculous the switch that they made, but there's only one reason why that switch was made is because Asia Wilson is her.
Yeah, it's been spoke about ad nauseum, which is why I'm kind of almost glad we didn't do it right after the finals. But literally ad nauseum, there was the 50-point blowout, and I think it was, if I remember, it was like, no, I think it was the Liberty. It was a contending team. But after that blowout, she sat down with Bam and really talked about her emotions and looked herself in the mirror before going to the rest of that team. And just what shocked me, and of course I'm an Aces fan, so following throughout the entirety of the season, of course those first 28 games, I was very confused. Like, we got a loaded squad. What are we doing? And for them to just turn that switch on and run off the last 16 like they did was super impressive. Now, I'll admit there was a great deal of fortune when Nafisa Collier went down, and it opened the door for what. And so first of all, shout out to at PHX Game Chasers. The Game Chasers, my girl Kai over there. So get this, Gabe. A sports concierge. This may be the coolest job I've ever heard of in my entire life. So when you decide you want to go to Phoenix, right? And let's say you want to go for a sports rendezvous, or it didn't even have to be sports. But she's got all these super awesome connections, dude. So she was she was at all 4 of the WNBA finals. Well, the two that were in Phoenix, and part of the conference championship as well. Or I think most of the conference championship. She'll get your tickets. She'll get your hotel. Say you want to go have dinner before the game. She's got all the great recommendations there, and she'll get you top of the line experiences there. Say you want to go to the strip club after, or whatever club you want to go, or any other experience. Like she sets up the whole thing. You literally fly to Phoenix, and she'll even get the limo ride from the airport for you, bud. Like, I mean, from everything you do, as soon as you put your feet on ground in Phoenix until the time that you leave, she sets it all up, and it's top of the line. It's actually really, solid pricing for everything you're getting, and you don't. All you do is you show up and party and enjoy yourself, and then you fly out. That's it. She takes care of literally all that, and so she's at the games and courtside, by the way. All right, like so. In the conference championship, she's sitting next to the clinching game. She's sitting next 2 seats over from James Harden on the hardwood as the confetti drops. Right, so this is pretty interesting. So I did a ton of content. I don't know if you got to catch it as we recap the finals game. Man, that Phoenix Mercury team is set up for excellence. I think we're coming into a really cool part of right now with the WNBA, where there are not only just some really good players, but there's going to be some really good teams into the future. I really like what I've seen out of the Mercury. They've got a big 3 and a core that's going to be really impressive. I'm interested to know what the expansion draft is going to do for them. But all in all, that's enough. That's going to be a contending team. Obviously, the Lynx are going to be a contending team when Nafisa Collier gets back healthy. One of the teams that I figured to be a contender was your Liberty. Where did the fall off come? What happened?
The fall off for the season? I mean, it was such a weird season, right? They never felt like they had it together. They always were injured, and I think that ultimately is what it is the injuries at the end of the year just kind of compiled to a point where they never got their flow state. They never got into the rhythm that they needed to really contend and be playing championship level basketball. So we were always sitting here talking about the Liberty's potential and what they could do, but we weren't talking enough about what they were doing and what they weren't doing. And yeah, and that at the end of the day is what kind of cost them. They didn't have all those pieces together when they needed them, and it kind of were just scrambling them together. They did the best with what they had, but look at that Phoenix series. I mean, they just got bullied the entire time, and obviously Jonquel Jones, her ankle wasn't good enough to really perform on the defensive end, and she was in a point where she just got surgery a couple days ago for that ankle to get it in place. So now she can be normal again. Emma Mieseman didn't have enough time to really be indoctrinated into this team. So now we don't know, will she be back next year? What will that look like? But just for last year, you saw flashes from Emma that looked really good, but they, once again, just never got in. And then Stewie with the knee hurt again. And then Sab was just dealing with some weird inconsistency with her shot that she didn't have going. So you connect all those dots, right? Just nothing ever felt like it finally solidified until, okay, this is who we are, because that ultimately was what it was. But also Phoenix, they are set up for success, but man, AT, she loves offensive fouling and they love not calling it. Let me tell you, they love to not call it. I called her the Draymond Green of the WNBA. I mean, that's what.
That's a great comp.
That's what it was. And look, I mean, once again, AT, a fantastic passer, underrated player. She's a top 4 player in the league, I believe. But when I watch AT play, I'm like, I mean, she can't hit a jump shot. She just bulldozes her way in. I'm like, I wasn't impressed. I know she's great, but when you watch, you're like, I'm not really seeing what makes her all that great. And then they end up winning the game, and you're like, all right, AT is pretty damn good.
You know? Right, before we go further, I do have to introduce the Fanatic Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League #1 contender, the Angry Puerto Rican.
Fantasy GOAT. Look at that. I love that.
Look, I had to. Hey, Gabe, so I just want to touch base. Actually, I wasn't going to get on and actually scream or rematch you for the Yankees, offensive struggle. I actually was rooting for the Yankees after the Mets got eliminated. I always do that. I root for the Yankees. I'm a diehard New Yorker always, but when it comes to the Mets, it's the Mets. If it's out of the Mets, if the Mets are out, I will root for the Yankees. But I don't know what happened. Honestly, going back to that, man, I don't know what happened offensively. You sit back and you think, like, man, they were hitting home runs. Aaron Judge, going to get another MVP, breaking numbers, just breaking records. And he's a phenomenal player. One of the best players I think I've ever, like, honestly, and then you look at Shohei Ohtani's, what his performance, the other day, looking at that was amazing. But I just think, honestly, he is the best offensive player there is in baseball.
It's incredible watching him play, right? Like, and the whole thing was like he was batting 450 in the playoffs, and everyone was still saying, "Oh, well, he's not delivering." Like that's the level we were at in New York when we talk about Aaron Judge. The guy's batting almost 500, and we're still saying he's not giving enough because he didn't hit a home run yet. And then he hits and then he hits the big home run, and now everyone's like, "Oh, amazing offseason, amazing playoffs, whatever." But that's just the standard that we have with this guy, Aaron Judge, is that he needs to be hitting home runs every game. He needs to be batting 500 in the playoffs, or else he's not doing enough. And, we can look at that one way and be like, that's just his greatness. But us as we're just that's what we expect. And maybe New Yorkers shouldn't be expecting this. And that's why whenever I make Aaron Judge videos and people are like, when I made a video about Aaron Judge, and it was a while ago, and I said, I don't think we're talking enough about Aaron Judge. And people in the comments are saying, what do you mean? They talk about Aaron Judge every day. But Aaron Judge is doing stuff that, and you look at the NBA right now with what Wemby did last night, like that should be talked about every second of the day because that guy's incredible. Aaron Judge is incredible as well. Shohei is obviously incredible, probably had the best postseason game we're ever going to see, just in a total game. But yeah, I mean, you go from that hype to end up losing. I remember I was at work the next day because they lost the next game after that. And people were like, oh, you must be happy. You're a Yankee fan. I'm like, no, I'm not happy. Like last night was great, but they're probably going to lose tonight. So I can't be happy about it because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? Aaron Judge could bat 500. Cam Schlittler could go 12 strikeouts. But if they don't win a championship, at the end of the day, we're losers. That's how New York works. It sucks. And it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way it is.
Look, I will say this: just knowing like how New York is, it doesn't. It's like I honestly I feel bad for Jet fans. It's just going through the list of things. You feel bad for Jet fans. You're happy about the Giants, even though they did take that L, the last game, but. They play, and they're an exciting team to watch. I think they need a definitely receiver. I think you were spot on with maybe trying to pick up Jalen Waddle because that team is just abysmal. Honestly, they are the Dolphins are trash.
Yeah.
I said something to the owner of my company. He's a Dolphins fan, and I was like, wow, and he was like, your Commanders losing to the Cowboys. Wow. And I was like, look, at least my coach isn't drunk coming to the press conference every single time they lose.
Yeah.
I was like, so I told him, I was like, man, there's a possibility you guys just start over. I was like, you guys were relevant for maybe a couple years at best, the last 4 years. Your offense has dwindled. Nobody wants to see you guys win. Everybody, no one, I don't care, man. The guys on, McDaniels is literally on the sidelines with Louis Vuitton shoes on. Come on, man. He's living Miami lifestyle. Like let's just be real here.
We can see he's living. We can see right around this area that he's living Miami's lifestyle as well.
Oh yeah. No, but just touching base on that. Just touching base on New York sports. If it's either championship or bust. Like it's nothing. Like we expect championships all because of the 27 rings the Yankees did have. We dominated baseball for years. Think about that. We dominated baseball for years.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just insane to look at. We've had some memorable moments. I love the Subway Series. I love the memorable moments there. I love that it's easier to go. Like you can go to those games and everybody doesn't care if you're a Yankee or Met fan. It's like you're a New Yorker at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love that. So I really did feel bad for Yankees, most Yankee fans for literally, especially you, Gabe, because I knew you were hurting, bro. And I didn't want to get on there and just start reaming it because then I could have seen the comeback. Well, we made it further than the Mets, some shit like that. So I was like, nah, I am not even gonna riddle that shit up today. No, I mean, spot on.
Yeah, I mean, you try your best with these teams. Like the thing is, right? It's like we've been through this, and the MLB today, right, is the best it's ever been. And what I mean by that is the margin of victory is the smallest it's ever been. The difference between the best team in the league and the best, the worst team in the wild card, right? Those playoff spots, it's like 5 games, right? Like these teams, there's not like these big discrepancies of like these teams winning 116 games or the Yankees getting the record of most wins in a season or the Mariners winning 116 games back in, what was it, 2000 or 2001, right? We don't have these teams being that dominant anymore. Even the Dodgers, the team that are probably going to win the World Series, they didn't have a great season either, right? So we are in an MLB today that even though the Dodgers probably own it in terms of today, we're not an MLB that has like a team that just dominates. Everybody is that good. That's why when everybody calls it a crapshoot in the playoffs, like they mean it. Like these teams aren't these games. Every game matters, and So nowadays, I don't think we'll never see another team be like the Yankees were in the 1990s. Like we won't see that again just because it's not how the MLB works anymore. So I think because we have a lot of people that are in their 30s and 40s, right, that have seen those generations, right? Now they yearn for that now. And they're like, why can't it be like the 90s? Well, the MLB isn't like it was in the 90s. So how can we expect the Yankees to be like that? And that's how the rational mind should think. But New Yorkers don't give a shit about that.
Hell no.
New Yorkers are like, no, we're supposed to win. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care. Like, we're supposed to win. Like, all this cute shit that you're talking, like, we don't care. The Yankees got to win. And they're not doing that. So if the longer they don't win, the more nonsense we're gonna have to hear about it.
Yeah. Speaking of New York, how do you? I mentioned it on your post, but I give a strong applause to Cat switching to basketball. The Knicks winning. And Donovan Mitchell, 21 points in the third quarter. That third quarter was amazing to watch. Just watching him play, I was just like, oh man, here it is. Here it goes. It's the same roller coaster, same shit. And then you look at it and you're like, oh shit, well, shut up. We have a bench. We actually have guys that are contributing off the bench. Yeah, 11-man rotation, amazing.
It is great. It's great. It's great to have a coach that actually, plays these guys, right? Like, and part of it is that their bench is just better than it was last year. But the other part is you have a coach that is pouring into their bench and is using that bench to their advantage. And that's what I loved about yesterday's win. It was less about the win and more about how they won and Mike Brown and his offense and generating more threes and and just having more fresh legs at the end of games because last year, guys, like after that third quarter, if this was last year, like the Knicks lose that game with the way Tibbs ran that team. Like, and I'm a guy that I liked Tibbs, right? But usually they would fall off towards the end of games because they just didn't have it, right? They didn't have it physically anymore. And now with a team that doesn't have that and is more of a team, it feels like this year, deeper, and they're just being used longer and less in games. Like they are a fantastic team. Mike Brown has done a fantastic job already in implementing his style, and it leads to games like yesterday where like Donovan Mitchell goes on that crazy run, but then in the fourth quarter, the Knicks still have enough gas to go on a 14-0 run to close that game, right?
Yeah.
Like that you don't see that last year. Last year, it would have just been, all right, Jalen Brunson, here you go. Have fun, sit back, and let's watch the Jalen Brunson show. And he was great last year in the clutch, right? Clutch player of the year. But you can't count on that all the time. Last night, Jalen Brunson was dog, right? But you don't need Jalen Brunson to score 35 anymore every night. That's when you actually have a basketball team, and that's when you can start winning real championships. So I loved what I saw yesterday from them for sure.
I definitely did. I love like I said, I love the gutsy performance from Cat. Grade 2, quad injury, still out there playing and giving 19 points, getting a double. You could definitely see it. The passion and the fact that he actually cares about wanting to play. He cares about the fans, and that's what he said. Is like, look, I want to come in, and I wasn't gonna miss this game.
Yeah.
Like now, granted, if he's your star player, you're thinking, okay, why are you doing that? But he didn't do it he's not Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at you.
Did it get? Oh, it didn't get dark. Okay, my fault. Never mind. I just saw some shade coming out of somewhere. I didn't know if I changed my lighting
I really wasn't trying to throw shade, but I guess if you want to say, I really was. Y'all look like. I mean, his knees are cooked. I don't know if you've seen some of that, the highlights on that. He couldn't jump. I was trying to switch back and forth from different games. Like, I tried to have it on 4 different things, and I was just like, nah, this Knicks game is way more important right now. Yep. I don't give a shit. But, he can't jump. His knees are done. He's cooked. His knees are completely done. You could see it in that game. It's just, even the announcers were calling. It's like, man, why is he not jumping? He has no momentum, no movement, no energy, no lift. And you look at that and you're like, you have to have lift on a jump shot. So you look at things like that. But no, I'm not going to say Joel Embiid because, Joel Embiid doesn't game manage, or load manage. Kawhi Leonard's known for load managing, and one little prick on his finger, and he's out for like 3 games. So gutsy performance by Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, and how about that for Cat, right? Everybody used to call him soft last year. That was his big criticism. Oh, Cat's just soft. He's just soft. Well, he showed he's not too soft last night. And that's something that's been big for him, kind of moving into this year, is kind of diminishing that narrative that he is soft. But and then you look at the bench too. I mean, I know you use the bench, you actually get to use them, but like the bench was great. Deuce McBride could have a career year this year, had 15 points last night. He's on a contract year, so he's going to be balling out for a new contract in the offseason, whether it is with the Knicks or without on another team. So I mean, it's just great trends, great habits. I know it's only one game. I know, all this stuff, right? We're overreacting to all hell, but at the same time, you have to like what you saw.
You have to like what you saw.
So as we talk about that, we talk about what we saw. Hey, Blocker, did you like what you saw from your Los Angeles Clippers?
Man, hold on, let me turn my lighting up. It's getting very shady. No, I did not like what I saw from the 2026 NBA champions. They did not start their season very well. You okay over there? You having a stroke? Do you smell toast?
I just
man, I think they were. To be fair, I think Utah's going to shock a lot of people the exact same way. And that team is loaded with talent. I believe AC Bailey, or is it AC Bailey? Ace Bailey is going to be really big for them all season long. But no, we came out. I think we took them for granted. I also don't have a lot of high hopes, to be completely honest. I'm with you. Look, man, let's be real. It's clear that Kawhi Leonard has prioritizes his health over anything else, and I can't be mad at him for that. That's what he wants to do. But
I mean, well, he got an extra $27 million out of nowhere, from some other shit, some other whatever. So he's good on money right now.
Are you saying that Los Angeles has better endorsements than New York? Is that what you just admitted to?
Hold on, what endorsement are we talking about? Because I don't remember where this came from. Because if I remember, that extra $27 million came from what company? No one knows.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one fucking knows.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Listen, if he can, as long as he's good for 23 points a night and he can play solid defense in the clutch, that's all I need. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. I'm good to go there. I think we'll be fine eventually. I'm sure we'll take our standard fourth seed and get put out in the first round again. I mean, what do you expect from a Clippers team like this? Like we're in purgatory. It is what it is. God rest Blake Griffin's soul. He's turning over in his grave right now.
He's enjoying his Amazon money, Blake Griffin.
Hey, atta baby. I am excited about the NBA. I'm not excited about the Clippers season. But I mean, like, look, they went on that run at the end of last season that made them actually viable for a while. And hey, look, I was about midway through the WNBA season. I was whining and crying because my Aces were 14-14. Hey, Ant, you want to tell me how the Aces finished up this season?
They did really, really good. They won a championship.
Yeah, they did, third in 4 years, as a matter of fact. Isn't that fun? That some folks might even call that a dynasty.
No, you have to look at it though. They are a dynasty. If you really look at it, they are a dynasty. I mean, they've won 3 out of the last 4. That 3 out of the 4, the 1 out of 4 was to the Liberty. So kiss my ass. Just remember that and think about that when you talk about WNBA. Please do me that favor.
First and foremost, probably on the greatest of her accolades is she's the first person to hit a game winner over a married couple.
That's pretty good. Doesn't happen a lot.
Listen, that's all I'm saying. It's a rare feat. But like that team is, and I think Chelsea Gray and Jackie come back. I think we see an emergence in Nalissa Smith, and I mean they've got a squad. They've got some pieces that I. And look, we might be looking at a real like a Yankees type of dynasty, that type of dominance, and I wouldn't be mad about it. I need a win from one of my.
Wait, I have a question. Are we going into what is it? We're doing an expansion this year, right? Is an expansion this year?
There are 2 teams I believe that are coming in this offseason, right, Gabe?
You got Toronto, Portland.
Okay, all right, Toronto and Portland. Now, what year are Cleveland and Detroit supposed to join in?
The next are like 27 and 28. One
Okay.
in 27, 128. I forgot which one it is.
That's actually what I wanted to get to next was expansion. I appreciate the nod there. And so, you spoke of Sandy, is it Brondello? The former Liberty coach who will now it was just announced, I think yesterday, will be coaching Toronto. What does that do for that early? We don't even know what players are going over to that team. But how does that? What do you feel like that's going to do as far as bringing in a champion coach in Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, Sandy's one of the better coaches in the league, right? Like, Sandy is someone that the players love around the league, whether it's, you go to games and usually in the warm-ups, you know how, teams will warm up on their side of the court, and then whatever happens after that. But whenever I was there with the Liberty, right, there's always a player or two before a game from the other team that's talking to Sandy, right? Always, like, and they're chopping it up, having a good time, smiles being exchanged left and right, because Sandy's been around the league forever. So not only is she known around the league, but she is beloved around the league as well. So just her being that presence that everyone loves to be around, it just allows for when you're recruiting, when you're drafting, when you're, now coaching a new team.
Right.
You can't start with a better option there than a coach that already brings in great culture to begin with, but also has won championships before. So great hire for them.
Yeah, they really fell into something special there. Before we go, talking with Gabe Zoda from at the Play BK, the Playbook. Tell us a little bit about any of the things you got going on into the future. Any shameless plug?
Always going to shameless plug the Playbook again. I don't know, you said it twice. I'm going to say it again. At the Playbook. Follow me in New York sports content. We love talking about sports. I'm going to be hopping on more live streams as we keep on going. So if you want to watch Knick games and you want to listen to me while watching a Knick game, hop on a TikTok live. I'll probably be live watching the game with you. Get in the chat. I love doing that. But yeah, I mean, WNBA is fun. Liberty are looking for a new coach. So any applications you guys got, send them in. Maybe the Liberty will have you as the next coach next year. Maybe you can bring a championship. So we'll see what's going on. But that's all I got.
So, but before we go, so a few shameless plugs for us. And man, I would love if you could. I don't expect it, but I would love if you could make your way to the final of the Fanatic Sports. Well, maybe you can just jump on the live stream. It'll be week 18, January the 4th. We'll be going live, and it is official, right? And we'll be at Sassy.
I need a head, but I need a head count. But yes, because I need to know who this, because I'm trying to get a server to make sure we're good. I'm trying to make sure that everything comes out drink wise, food is going to be great, things like that. I told them that we're going to be there for probably a few hours. Like I told them that. I was like, it's gonna be a few hours.
We're partying to finish off our fantasy league. Which again, I will say it, the number one team in the league are the angry Puerto Ricans. I said here, you know what? I'll even throw you a little extra bone here, buddy.
There you go.
But and look, whoever wins the ring, somebody's gonna win a ring. We're very excited about that. Woohoo. Most important thing that's going to happen that day, aside from Gabe joining us in the Fantasy Sports podcast, Fantasy Football League, is that somebody.
That's great.
Somebody's going to wear a t-shirt. Tell them what it is on the t-shirt.
Me? I gotta read
Oh
that.
man,
I don't even know what it is.
No, it's gonna.
it's gonna say I got booty blasted in a Fanatic Sports podcast, sports podcast league, and it's great because it also comes with a hat too.
Yeah,
So that's great too.
We're definitely getting a hat. We're definitely getting a hat to go with it. That's without a doubt. But no, man, it's gonna be a blast. We're looking forward to that. We are definitely looking to forward to more content from you at the Play BK, the playbook. Definitely a great follow for New York sports and all sports in general, man. Like 'cause New York sports is kind of the basis of everything that happens and how all sports unfold. So definitely a great follow there, man. Always a pleasure to jump on with you, Gabe. Anthony, you week 9 is gonna suck for you. So I've already checked it out. I've looked at your bye weeks. I know you think your bench is deep. It's not. We're going to fry. I may lose every game before then, but we're gonna fry you week 9.
Hey, it doesn't look. It doesn't. I want to humble. I have to humble myself just a little bit. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
That's right.
But how it's looking is I'm 98% making the league, the finals. How it looks, I'm number one. I'm number one in your hearts, and I'm number one in this league. So keep that in mind.
In your hearts. Hey, Gabe, man, thank you. Thank you to everybody that's watching us. I know there's a lot of people on a lot of platforms, and we actually forgot. Oh, no. Dude, the Instagram comment section was going crazy, and I completely forgot to. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone on Instagram. We were having a good time. Look, he's got the big city voice. He's got all the knowledge. Come on, man. We were having fun. Who's got time to click over and see those troublemakers in the Instagram?
I do have to ask. Wait, before we go, Gabe, did you just drink an entire 2 liter this whole show?
No. And I drank about this much, so not that much. Yeah,
okay.
not that much.
I was about to say, hey man, we might have to get you checked out by the doctor for all that damn sugar.
I'm doing all right, bro. My stuff's clean, bro. My stuff's clean.
Good. Hey, I look forward to hearing more of your content, brother. I look forward to it every day, man. I get up in the mornings, man. I just scroll through everybody that I follow and favorite and just look through and see what you put up. Make sure I always pay attention to shit. I always save it. I mean, share it. Because that's what it's all about, man. It's not just a one-sided world. So it works both ways. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on, man. And I'm glad I found you, man.
I'm happy to be here always, man.
All right, man. As I always say, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Thank y'all.